guys. Well, I cut that off like a record. Like, hey y'all, how you doing? Welcome to Burgundy Blue Commentary. When we talk about what we want to talk about it, when we're ready to talk about it. So I was actually, I'm gonna try to not let this take me off my square because I was at a great place about an hour and a half ago, and it was so funny because I was learning about righteousness, unrighteousness, praying for your enemies, things like that. All right. Um, Wickedness, things like that. I learned a lot today. And I was debating, should I make this video? Because, with me, automatically, you guys don't know because a lot of people are brainwashed. I will say that. These are the good guys. Tiffany bad, they good. It's never anything where anyone wants to take their time. Sorry guys, that wants to take their time and say, you know what, let me really sorry y'all, let me dig deeper and let me look and see what really is behind all the things that are going on in the village of Dalton, instead of what the media telling me. And I want to talk about some things today, one being Mayor Jason House, and the second being media, and how it's weaponized. And even we're going to talk a little bit about the school board. I think it's 148, and the $500,000 superintendent. I want to talk a little bit about that tonight because it's on my heart. So you guys get you a snack, relax, and it's just going to be Burgundy talking about her side of things and her opinion. Before I start, I just want to say hello to everybody. Hello, Choose. Easy. Hey, Zell. Hey, my boo. Sister Wives is coming. Cynthia. Hey, Scott. I was about to say, hey, Berg. Hey, Gardis. Put the light bulbs in the chat. Wyoming gal. The real Magnolia. Hey, we love you, Magnolia. You are so cool. Tracy, what's up, my princess? I think I said hello to everybody that said hello. Okay. And if I missed you, I'm sorry. Okay. So let's just picture it. Dalton 2024. Picture it. Go to Girls Fans. You get it. I don't even want to go back that far. When I'm talking about this, I want to leave me out the equation. This is not even about me, okay? I want to talk about recent events that I have ignored, I haven't talked about, I have nothing to say about it, right? But let's just talk about recent events. Now, full disclaimer, I did not see the interview. You guys who love and care about me have been so generous to just send me clips, and this part right here is from Choose Compassion. Can someone put Choose? Oh, Choose is here. Choose, can you put your link in the chat so everyone has it? This is from Choose Compassion. And I was shocked at this clip, but not shocked because you have to be here to understand what's going on here, okay? First of all, I think this interview was under, and I'm saying this out loud, and a bird can't say anything without getting attacked, but bring it on. This interview was under duress. Okay. I think that Jason did not show up to a certain event the other day, and they get nervous. They get real, real nervous. Okay. Let me tell you something. They get nervous when Jedediah says anything to them. It's like blink twice. He is definitely under. You know how I feel about. I won't discuss it for other reasons, and I don't have to tell you guys what those reasons are. But just look at my history on everything. You can't find me really bashing anyone or calling them out their names or anything like that. So I'm not going to start that today. You guys know how I feel about Jedediah Brown, and that's it. That's all. But do I think that Jason's scared of Jedediah? Absolutely, 1000% I do. Yes, I do. I think he's terrified. I think that Jedediah was smart enough to get enough little pieces on everybody that he can have them under his thumb, and he's mortified at that. he should have been at that rally the other day. Or what was it a rally or was it a press conference or something? He should have been there. But because he didn't show up, he's here. And that's my personal opinion. That is not factual. That's my opinion on everything. And here's Choose Compassion link. Let's go to this. And we're, like I said, we're leaving me out the equation. We're going to talk about why this was a bad move.
I want to ask you a question for myself. Often rumor has it that INA brought chaos and drama to the community. So I guess I want to ask you, sir, in your assessment of things, do you feel that the advocacy that I brought, you didn't call me there, but do you feel like the advocacy that I brought, inevitably the organization that was created out of it, Investigate and Advocate, did we help in this village's position and condition at all?
Absolutely. Chaos existed before INA came. I think that what was done is the fight, not always pleasant. Sometimes force things to be dealt with head on. And in many cases, it's uncomfortable. It's there are many times where I would just say, "Hey, I know you did that. I wouldn't do that. I couldn't go that far. I wouldn't go in that direction." And it makes some uncomfortable. And at times, I would even say it made me uncomfortable. But there's also when you're facing that level of just blatant disrespect for rules and laws, sometimes you got to meet people where they stand. So I understand the advocacy you did. I think what I think was really impressive is that within, I would say, a 2 to 3 week period, you came, you hit the ground running. You knew everybody within the Dalton community within a 2 week period by just being grassroots and meeting everybody. I know every encounter wasn't pleasant, but no, I think the advocacy in particular in our case was very helpful. So that would be my statement.
We'll take that. INA, we'll take that. Okay, so man,
and then Choose does my favorite dance. So I'll play that in a second. So this is what I want to say. The fact that Jason, everything's funny, it's perfect. I'm going to start the history of everything. I'm going to play everything from the rooter to the tutor of what happened for those that came in late to the Dalton situation that may have if you haven't noticed, people have started to wake up a little bit and say, hey, because, Tiffany is not the focus and the centerpiece anymore. But Jason thinks everything's funny. And it wasn't funny to me. I don't know if it was funny to you guys. That's you guys' opinion. But he thinks that everything is funny and joking. Oh, it wasn't always pleasant. It's nothing funny. When you see a man get his thumb or eye socket popped out of pocket over there in Harvey and all they get is $100 ticket, it's nothing funny when you see people making fun of Beth is her name, McBride, husband funeral. Okay, we're using a funeral as content. That's not funny. Now this is the mayor now. Now let me see a Brandon Johnson. As much as people don't like Brandon, that's Choose. But as much as people don't like Brandon Johnson, let me see Brandon Johnson get up there after what Amir calls it. I haven't followed it all the way through, you guys, but mob action situation and be like, it's not always pleasant, but we got to do what we got to do and get to smiling. It's offensive to your constituents. It's offensive to the people that are here on the South Side. It's a way you could have handled this interview without giggling at something so offensive as somebody that marched beside you, Jason House, supported you, donated to you. And I'm speaking on behalf of someone like Beth. And her husband's funeral was critiqued and broken down. Did Jason show up to the funeral? I mean, I don't know. And that's no shade to Beth. I'm just wondering. And when I saw that was just horrible, but it's not always pleasant. What else happened? We're just talking about recent times. What else is going on? I heard today it was a fight at the school situation. I didn't get to cover that. To watch people be shunned out of the board meetings because they're not part of the cool kids crew, that's offensive. All the things that are going on, and you mean that no chaos was brought to Dalton? Yes, it absolutely was. But I will tell you the blessing in this. This interview was a great blessing for a lot of people. They wanted to see where this would go and if Jason House would come on there and be a dignified person who just won the election fair and square, right? He won it fair and square. He's the best man for the job. That's why he won it. Or did he win the election because of all the dirty deeds that were done on the sidelines? You know, because Tiffany, she had her own reputation already. It didn't need the extra sauce. But now that you see that your residents or other people in the area, in the community, in the township are getting hurt, you think that, hey, sometimes it's not pretty. How did this help any kind of the budget situation we got going on in Dalton? How did this help with the water bills? How did this help with the potholes? How did this help with the violence? People getting shot at the park, at the same place we have board meetings at. How did this help at all? What has been solved in Dalton at all? You guys reported to me, and I think All in the Queue had a video. I haven't watched it yet, so if you guys want to, or if she's in the chat and she want to come up and talk about the issue that happened at the school and how the police reacted, or let's talk about Thornridge when the officer pulled the gun out on the student. No one reported on that. But you know what? It's levels, and sometimes things get dirty, and it's need be. Now, how was it needed, if we want to go to the past, for someone to book a flight allegedly to go to another state to harass someone? How did that help the voters? How did that help the budget? How did that help anything? Except for everyone that was for clean house getting a job. Let's go back to current, because I'll go to the past. Didn't Vivian have to go to court for harassment? What, yesterday? Vivian, who stood by, and I can't speak for her, not trying to, this is my observation. From what I saw, Vivian was at that podium every board meeting. And when they started attacking her for lying about having cancer, which my personal opinion, cancer, I hate it. You don't even get me into Big Farm and how it's already a cure. You don't want me to go there, y'all. Like, I feel like they could find a cure for this thing if they wanted to. They just don't want to. But that's it. That's another story. But Vivian ripped off her wig. We all saw it, and said she had cancer. Every week it was a plan. The newspapers, the wigs, the walkouts, everything was planned. The switching of the chairs so the fight could happen. Remember when Kiana and Brittany Norwood switched seats? If you remember that, put a 1 in the chat. That was all planned, right? All planned. Now, every week it was a theater. It was theater. Everybody made money off of it. It was something else. Now, she is getting publicly humiliated for not having cancer. I'd never seen such a thing. Oh, she didn't have cancer. She lied. But she got a partial forehead. That's good enough for me. She got tumors on her brain. That's good enough for me. It's not cancer, but would I want tumors on my brain? No. Okay. And I don't think anybody else would. So y'all are saying, oh, because she didn't have stage 5 cancer, and I'm going over, I know it's not, you know what I'm saying, but she didn't have stage 5 cancer, because I don't want to offend people. That she is the most, we gotta shame her. Don't y'all know that bullying and stress is probably setting her back? Probably setting her back. We got to look into Vivian's finances. Jason, you see all of that going on. And you could stop it. You could stop it. But hey, what did he say? It got to be, I heard this, and I quote, was it Sherry 2024? It will be some sacrifices. If people got to be sacrificed, somebody put the real quote in the chat. If people got to be sacrificed, we got that clip. Oh, well. Hey, Mama Hill. So I don't give a heck if maybe I saw Vivian ring the bell. That was my first interview I did over in at the park when we were doing the rally. I have told you guys from the beginning, I'm on nobody's side. I'm just breaking the news and telling y'all what's going on. But right is right and wrong is wrong. And for you guys as a public, and y'all know how I feel about Vivian too. It's no secret. We'll get to that. But the way y'all treating her and slandering her and making videos after videos about her because she did not have cancer is ridiculous. That girl had a walk plan, couldn't do her walk. It's people out here probably with the same let me use the Grace Levi word, affliction. The same affliction she has that probably could have benefited from having the education or going on the walk, and y'all bullied her out of that. Now, how did that help? But what they got this week, a breast cancer walk, a MS walk. We walking for everything, and is anyone seeing like? But poor Vivian, they didn't come together and say all that stuff you did. The way you stood by Clean House, the way you wore that sweatshirt every dang on meeting everywhere, the way you was screaming and breaking your vocal cords against Tiffany. Come here, Vivian. We got you. We got your back, girl. And that's my opinion on that. Yeah, I mean, Wyoming, I hate the way they all. I mean, it's just crazy how people were just, if you don't, and it's so funny to hear all these people that I actually heard Jed say, that's bullying if you don't do what they want you to do. That's exactly all y'all was doing. Bullying because you were so scared that Tiffany would possibly win. So to the public, Tiffany Henyard had no chance in hell of winning, right? So what was the big threat? Was it because the village was really looking up or happy to see some of the things she was doing for the children? Because keep your eyes open. What is going on with the kids now? Now, the park district and the library, they're doing stuff for the kids. No one attends those meetings. Do anyone ask for the minutes of those meetings? Do anyone go? Do anyone see what money is being spent there? No. And sorry, Bert doesn't have time to do that either. Jason watched recent, like I said, we're not even going back to 2024. Recent humiliation, because all they do, they're in this chat right now. It's 21 of us, and I bet you it's 10 of them in the chat, the trustees in them. That's all they do. Social media. All day. That's why Ed Steve during the meeting he got his earbud in, because he on social media seeing what people got to say about them. That's all they have to do. And it's not hard to run for office in Dalton. It's not stressful at all, because no one wants to pick up. You're going to get bullied. If you look at Cassandra Jordan, you're going to get bullied if you even try to run, or Denasha. You run unopposed for years. They're going to continue to run unopposed for years. They're going to continue. Anybody, that's just what it is until they fall out within each other. Oh, yes. I'm bringing up Choose Compassion. 1 second. Tracy said romper room politics complete with musical chairs. Yeah, and it's just, it is what it is. And if you guys, the worst thing that happened to Dalton was YouTube. You guys on the outside of this community give them so much power in this community. How much revenue has the Pope House generated? What happened to the baseball team, the Dalton Popes? I thought it was a whole thing with Tiffany not signing. What was that? That club / nightclub / bar / 5 stories that turned into one big liquor store. One big liquor store. Again, one big liquor store. That's all it turned into. It's gonna be a boom boom room. Them showers upstairs gonna be showering within the end of the year. Okay. Miss Hill said not Mama Hill said not 1 penny from the post childhood home. It's what it is. It is what it is. And I ask of you guys that really care about the village, that really was fighting for the people for real, to take time, do your research. These people are in office now, and we got what, 3 years and what, 8 months to go or something like that, and they'll be here for a while. Try to hold them accountable for what they're doing. Why is Jason is no better than Tiffany? Every time you turn around, his face is on something. He on the online, he in the chat. I've never seen Tiffany Henry enter anybody's chat before. I've never seen Tiffany Henry enter anyone's chat. And I like I said, I don't want to be horrible about the interview because I did not finish anything else but this clip that you guys that I sent, and it was just enough for me. It was just like, okay. I stopped going because every time I go, I see him. I'm like, okay, maybe I need to not be in this store, because if every time I go into the store, I run into the mayor, I need to sit down. I need to sit down. Okay. Timestamp it happen. Timestamp it happen. Got the date. Greenwood Liquors. Okay. What's over there? But it's crazy. Like, come on and like be serious about it. These people are acting like this is an episode of Flavor of Love or Rock of Love or something like that. Or maybe it's the real world. Maybe they think it's the real world, where right now we're in such a crisis, but everybody have time to be online with shenanigans. And like I said, I want to be fair and do the rest of the interview and see, how it turns about. He's watching everything on there. Let me tell you something. When Conscious says it's a leak, Conscious is not lying. It's a leak. These people within their own camp are tired of them. They are tired of them. And they'll be the first ones to reach out and be like, watch out for this, watch out for that. It's people that, like I said, I'm gonna try to move forward and not go in the past, and just tell you like what mayor will see the chaos going on within the community and get up here giggling and laughing about it. It's crazy. And say, oh no, it's not. Someone you see in everybody chat, super chatting. What mayor super chats? Okay. Let me bring up Choose. Hey, Choose Compassion. You live.
How you doing? Can you
How
hear
you
me?
doing? How you doing? We hear you.
I was fabulous until I came across this a few hours ago. And let me be clear that I'm only focused on Jason. That's why I don't even, the other person ain't even there. My focus is totally on Jason, the mayor, the residents, this platform that he came on, what he said, like you said, all the smiles, it's giving. Jason, you sit on a throne of lies.
Yes. I mean, I think the thing about it, and like I don't care. Like it's been time after time that this has went on. Like I said, I would say that when I sat down and met with Jason and Ed Steve, and and he said it was okay, I could say it, and my witness to my right was Gardis. Um when we sat down and had that conversation, it was just a sit down to say, hey, what's going on? And it was a lot of, what's happening, um what's going on and what's happening. And I had a lot going on in my family and they were checking on me. But it's something I'm going to release about what happened. And I'm going to do that maybe tomorrow when we left out the restaurant and I was going to my car, because I think I haven't said this part, and I understand a lot of people feel like, and Gardis was not with me at this time. It was just me walking to my car. I feel like a lot of people feel like I don't finish the story, and I feel like sometimes it's not for public consumption. You know what I mean? But something happened when I was walking to my car, and that's when I knew the meeting was, and yes, a trustee walked me to my car. That's when I knew the meeting was kind of flimsy. You know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
I still had faith in the situation because they knew how much my family and I were going through at the time. So, well, my household and I. So when all of this happened, that's when I got to see, and I quote what Tiffany said. Like she said on WVON, if y'all remember that quote, gold star, when she was
Mm-hmm.
talking about corruption. That's when
Mm-hmm.
I noticed something was weird. Now,
Mm-hmm.
to see Jason here, like I said, take out 2024. We're talking about what's just been happening these 2 months.
Signs taken down before he was actually in office. We've never seen that. That was a red flag for me.
Oh, I forgot about. Well, I think I didn't have a red flag until, I mean, I've been had the red flags, but I'm always trying to be optimistic about the situation and say, maybe things will be better here. Maybe something, maybe how somebody think they can do the job better than you. So I said, well, maybe they'll change everything. Uh, it take time. We got that. But I think my red flag was when Tiffany stole all the money, but we're spending money constantly. I mean, big money. We're not spending a little money. All the t-shirt colors are changing. The names are everywhere. The flyers are out. Um,
Push
Wait a minute.
DU.
Huh, DU. I got a question, Choose. Do you know I'm so happy about these scholarships, but do you know how much the scholarships were and where the money comes from for the scholarships?
I have no clue.
Just just
No
stuff.
clue.
Yeah, just one. I'm just wondering. I never looked into it. I've been,
No clue.
it could be in plain sight. But where does the scholarship money come from? Glad it's happening for the youth. I really am. And I remember Jason said he was going to match it, and I just was wondering how much the scholarships were. If it was $100, that's good. I'm just saying every dime counts when you're going back to school. So, but I'm just wondering, all this money, the Pope house. Now, why did we have to buy two houses? And I understand that the Pope house, I get it. You don't want to let that pass you by. I get it. I understand. But the house on the corner, it was other abandoned houses on that block. But why was the house on the corner so important? And right across the street is just boarded up. I know you haven't been home in a while, but just boarded
Oh,
out. Yeah.
you know I be. What?
Yeah, I know
Never
you be in
mind.
and out, but I know
That's
you'll be. I
because
know you'll be
I
a
forget.
Riverdale and Riverdale like that, but maybe you do.
I remember now. It was when you were doing glamorous things, and so we didn't have a chance to meet up them last couple times. But yeah, no, I totally agree with you. Like, and I feel like the residents should at least know where the money came from. I mean, if Jason said he's going to match it, we want to still see a budget and make sure that, we don't see a match or extra dollars coming out of the budget anywhere.
Yeah, like it's like that whole scholarships. Somebody just texted me the scholarships came from that AT&T bill. that 500 that $500,000 AT&T bill. Okay. Which means I gotta pay my bill before they cut you off for $50, but they won't cut the Village of Dalton off for $500,000, which is hilarious because was it 300,000 or 500,000?
The 500.
Because wouldn't AT&T best time to cut off the Village of Dalton be when Tiffany was in her seat?
I would have thought so.
That would have
Because
been all over the news.
that would have proved, hey, we're out of money. It's like every time you want, or I'm just going to speak for myself. Every time I wanted to believe that, okay, yeah, they're telling the truth, stuff like this proves that you're lying. Because, yeah, and I would think that as much as they pushed for everything else that they pushed for, they would, hey, cut it off, even if it was in the background. You know what I'm saying? Cut it off so we can prove that we don't have no money and she da 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 da. Yeah, y'all messed up with that one. You can't bring some back from Riley's time because guess what? Still same people except Kiana and Brittany. So, and I really wish y'all would stop saying new administration. There is nothing new about y'all.
Exactly.
Jason.
It's the same administration, it's musical chairs, and that's all it is. And you know what? When I just feel like I like to do these kind of videos every once in a while so we could check back in a year, as I always say, and see how this aged, because I don't think this is gonna age well for uh the situation. To know what's going on in to have PR that knows what's going on, for him to know what's going on, to have I guess I want to say a cabinet or whatever to know what's going on, to have advisors to the trustees to know what's going on, and to get on here and to chuckle is a lot. And that's my opinion on it. So I'm waiting for all the videos because you can't say anything against anything because Tiffany's out the spotlight now. Yeah, I heard someone say, "Oh, we're gonna go to that because I want to go to District 148. I think it was. I want to play that because I want to talk about the media next. Because I heard someone say, "Oh, she's under federal indictment." I think they said, and something, and I'm like, when? And she has court case after court case, and that's all of that. That's what they were saying, and they were trying to bring in the school district with Tiffany. Tiffany has nothing to do with the school district.
Right. And here's the thing that, I don't know why I have, oh, excuse me, I guess I don't have to. I actually feel obligated to repeat that Tiffany Henyard, once again, is not the subject of the investigation. There is a difference. So, if Tiffany Henyard is not the subject of the investigation, I wonder who or what people are under investigation. I would think that things like Mama Hill. I just saw you in the comment section what she put. Number one, the tea with the trustees. Last September, they had our elder Mama Hill in tears again. And we want to, and Jason is sitting here smirking like, oh, yeah, well, it was all, uh, we had to match the energy. Um, and if you can feel free to play what he says back, but he did say something. I don't want to misquote him, But he did say something like he had to match the energy. With whom? With your residents, such as an elder, Mama Hill, who has been in the community possibly longer than you've been born? Are you serious? And then you treat your residents the way that you treat them, and you want to say things like that as if it's it's just towards Tiffany, which isn't okay at all. I'd like to bring that up as well because it it seems like what was good for Tiffany is not good for you all. And I don't advocate for anyone running up to a podium yelling about things that have nothing to do with government. However, Jason, you have some hard questions to answer, and you will, in my activist voice, you will answer your community. Period.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's always that me today, you tomorrow. I remember when she first said that, I giggled and laughed about it, but it's literally literally turning out to come true. And sometimes justice does not come as fast as you want it to.
Exactly.
You know
It
what I mean?
does.
Sometimes you gotta take your time. It takes its time.
I heard a snippet about lawsuits. Let me tell you, first of all, because see, I know a lot of people, and a lot of people gonna go ahead and try to run with this, and then everybody gonna want to hop on this for clicks and views. And since that's not what we're here for, let me just say this about the investigation and just these lawsuits. These law Jason seems to have been eluding that, uh, whatever percentage of these lawsuits disappeared. Mm, that's because you start settling stuff. To be very, very clear, just because someone leaves an organization doesn't mean that, ooh, we ain't got them lawsuits no more. That's not how it works. I know a lot of people, and I got very tired of this, but the voices were so loud, I couldn't hear anything. So now that it's quiet in this space, I wanted to take the time to say Jason House and the trustees can act as if lawsuits are lower and disappearing because Tiffany is gone. But I can tell you very legally, without disclosing what I do, that whatever happened is still on the village of Dalton. It doesn't work that way. You don't get to say, oh, the bad guys are gone now, and so you shouldn't sue us. And then your Jason House, your entire investigation, when Stan Brown asked you, what is this investigation for? uh, um, the misappropriation and commingling of funds and mm, what happened basically what happened in Vegas. Okay. Um, Lori came. You want to skip over the fact that the credit cards were in Chief Lacey's and Mobley's name. You just sit on a throne of lies. And you know that iron throne that y'all all want so bad, it cuts. I don't know y'all watch Game of Thrones, but that iron throne be cutting the crap out of people. Y'all need to stop. I'm sorry.
You know, I love Game of Thrones. And it's all in sincerity where I'm saying this. I'm just sitting over here like, we as a community, this is what I want to say about this whole situation. This is just horrible, horrible politics right here. Um Trump don't need to come to Chicago, but he can come over here to Dalton because this is just crazy over here. All the things that happened, we had two people lose their lives recently. We saw young Will post a video about in April um the loss of another young man on Easter. that was crying out for help from the mayor and everything like that. The mayor came in city, then it went to Dalton to do something about it. No, nothing's been solved there. And we like to any little thing that happened in Dalton, we put it on Tiffany. But because of the YouTube circus, the Facebook circus, and just it's always cool to just make fun of people and try to destroy their lives if they don't agree with you or because you feel like they're a threat. Um
I
I'm trying to
totally
shoot. I'm sorry, go ahead. I was trying to choose my word. Go ahead, please.
totally agree with what you're saying. And as a person that was aspiring to be mayor, Jason House, you still, whether you want to try to keep your conversations so that you're passively aggressively referring to Tiffany Henyard, the fact that you and all of the other trustees allowed the podium people to come disrespectfully, and as a Christian man, because I forgot you Christian, in the church, in the Lord's church. And you sat there and you watched people not talk about the issues. You watched people tear a resident down. Don't say, and I heard, because I watched this whole interview, and so to say like, oh, she's a resident now, okay, hey, now she your boss, huh? She
Who
pay
who was
taxes.
it? Who was it? I missed
That
it.
was Jason that said that. Jason was like, oh, she's a community member now, but she was a resident then. And you're not supposed to, it's like, you, I don't know if that's Thornton
Wait,
code,
wait,
Thornton
talking about
fraction,
who? I'm sorry.
what?
What happened in the interview about somebody's a resident now? Who what happened? I'm trying to
Oh,
get to.
I'm so sorry. Jason House, it was stated that Tiffany Henyard is now a resident of Dalton. And
Oh yes.
so, how's that going to go? Oh, well, as a resident, treat it as the same as every other resident. And so that's what I'm saying. She was a resident when she was a mayor. So for him to sit back as a man, again, as a Christian man, because God don't like that, Jason. I hope you pray. God don't like that. And for you to sit there, all have to do with government and yell and scream at the podium. But then when people like Trina comes up to the microphone, not yelling and screaming, and says something simple like, Ash, you want to correct her. But you ain't correct none of them people yelling at the podium, including Mary, cussing and all of that. So you're fake and you're phony. And all of this, we just want to move forward. What you're missing is accountability and transparency. You have to acknowledge your role in hurting people, because people in your community, you have to acknowledge your role in social media. Well, actually, this video, the moment the mayor had no clue how badly he messed up. You talk too much, and that's because y'all feeling yourself. But the last thing I'm gonna say, because I'm sorry, I'm just this makes me so upset because it really touches people that I know. You all need to apologize. The whatever y'all want to call, if y'all want to call yourself a new administration, apologize to Tiffany. Apologize to the residents that you heard, to Mama Hip. Apologize to the other people. Apologize to Burgundy. I said it, Burgundy didn't. Apologize to Vivian. Hell, y'all know my family is there. Apologize to You look stupid. No, Kiana, you all. What's she gonna do? Crime up. She don't care. I'm sorry. My bad. I'm on mute.
No, you are oh, wait, I think hold on. I think my thing going out. Hold on.
Oh well, I don't hear now. I don't think it's going
Okay, can
out.
y'all hear me? My mic went out.
Yes, we can hear you.
So the whole thing is it's basically, I just wanted to touch on this for a little bit because and I can't believe we spent choose. I spent 52 minutes up here, so you know what that means.
Can I be recognized, Mayor?
You want to be long-winded? I'm just asking.
My bad. Okay.
To be up here
my bad.
and just to see how immature our government is just so weird to me. Like, I don't think we'll ever see the mayor of South Holland sitting up there on a live stream on Facebook, on YouTube, just for what? For what?
You won't see that.
It's crazy.
Can we play back what he said so we can be clear on what he said?
Choose, are you saying something? Why can't I hear you? Can you say something right quick? Oh, she dropped out. Okay. She probably coming back. So good luck, Jason. Good luck to you. You know, like I said, we're just reporting the news over here, but this was just based on my opinion. I wanted to talk about, like, okay, 2024 was 2024 to y'all. Y'all probably like, oh yeah, that's swept under the rug. Nobody's gonna say anything about it. Nothing's gonna be done. Okay, nothing's gonna be done. And of course, I want to say this. It is a federal lawsuit out there, right? It's a federal lawsuit going on out there that's very popular with YouTube right now with Shay. Shout out to Shay, prayers to Shay. And you know why Jason, this is my opinion. You know why Jason felt like he could say what he want to say and it not be connected, all like the dots not be connected with this lawsuit allegedly. I want to say this. It's because oh, Choose is back. Hold on. Okay, there you go, Choose.
Can you hear me?
Yep, we hear you.
Okay. I'm listening to you.
Okay. The reason is that he could spend all the Dalton money and have Bert or whoever lawyer he gets to defend him in federal court, because it's not his money, it's our money as residents. And Shay should not feel guilty a second about that, because if he ever have to use this clip for that, so be it. Because I know it's useful to a lot of this whole from what I've been getting was useful to a lot of other people to have this, because they really couldn't believe this was real life. And yes, we're in the real world road rules because of the potholes in Dalton. Okay, you got anything, Choose?
Oh, the only thing I had, what I was trying to say before I got cut off is, can we hear what he said so we can just make sure he said what he said just in this little clip? Cause I sure got it. I done uploaded another clip, and Jason, if you think the media the media may be going away, but the real people finna stick around, bro.
Okay, let's play this part. Let's play it one more time. Hold on, guys.
Thank you, sir. In your assessment of things, do you feel that?
Sorry.
I want to ask you a question for myself. You know, often rumor has it that INA brought chaos and drama to the community. So I guess I want to ask you, sir, in your assessment of things, do you feel that the advocacy that I brought, you didn't call me there, but do you feel like the advocacy that I brought, inevitably the organization that was created out of it, Investigate and Advocate, did we help in this village's position and condition at all?
Absolutely. Chaos existed before INA came. I think that what was done is the fight, not always pleasant, sometimes force things to be dealt with head on. And in many cases, it's uncomfortable. It's there You know, there are many times where I would just say, hey, I know you did that. I wouldn't do that. I couldn't go that far. I wouldn't go in that direction. And it makes someone uncomfortable. And at times I would even say it made me uncomfortable.
And yet he allowed it. You see what I'm saying? Instead of saying something, he allowed that.
And I hope that people got the part where he said, it's a many time I talked to you and I said I wouldn't have went that far. So that's part of the what?
Hey, I would say some lawsuits and stuff. Look, I'm a, when I y'all know when I talk, it's from my opinion only. I would say some lawsuits because see, Jason, this is the kind of stuff that you don't understand. When you said that, you potentially brought me in your stuff just because I rent a room in Dalton. No, and it ain't with Burgundy, so don't y'all start.
Well, Tiffany gave me my house, so
I know, right? So they can say what they want, but see when you said that, and then the stuff that happened with me and my name and being that, Jason, you messed up, man. And see, I love the community, so I'm really not finna. I ain't got time for this, and I think Burgundy kind of understands why. I'm not saying it in a disrespectful manner, like I ain't got time and other people do, but you know that I'm doing. You know, I got a whole other like real life thing going on, so I can't. But guess what? I can surely be a witness because that's why y'all should watch what y'all doing. Watch what y'all saying. Watch who y'all align with. And then the people that supported him, that's who my other short is for. So that's all I got is Jason, that Iron Throne is sharp and it cuts. Tiffany is the only one that acknowledged that these seats are borrowed. And you buying the Pope house is, I hope I can say this. It's, you know what? I'm going to talk like Dr. Grande for this. What you did with talking about the Pope's house and, I hope I get to meet him in spirit or something, a spiritual meeting. I want to say this is such, and the word rhymes with unery. You run to the man instead of looking into your own community. Do you think that this February is going to come up and Dalton is not going to acknowledge their first black female and youngest mayor? Do you and supervise? Do you think y'all really think that's you know what? I'm going too far in the future because y'all already messed up. That's all I gotta say. I'm so sorry, Maggie, because you know
no,
I get real long winded, and I ain't even got no shoes. I just got some moo to give out.
well, this is the thing, like, and this is just me talking off the dome. A lot of the things that are celebrated right now, I did. Someone sent me a clip about the skating rink and how it's going to be renamed. Uh, we worried about the skating rink renaming. What about making sure that it's maintained so that the village does not lose more money that you said we were losing? The kids can't even be at the skating rink. There's no
Oh,
skating rink.
oh
Um,
yeah, he mentioned that. See, oh, he mentioned that. That's going, and I might as well just say it now because I know everybody gonna try to run to it and talk. So I'm just gonna say it now. Yeah, his thoughts on that is, they're gonna rename it because that's what he especially wants that. So,
Wait, what?
oh yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. I'm just gonna get this out the
Wait,
way for everybody
he said that out loud.
out loud, out his own mouth.
The name is just Ice. It's a 5-year-old's name.
Exactly. So you
It's
again,
not named Tiffany Henyard Ring.
exactly. So again, to take a shot at Tiffany, y'all want to hurt a 5-year-old. Y'all so low. Y'all is low down.
Name. A five. He said that out his mouth. I gotta watch the interview. Oh my
Oh, he
goodness.
said it out his mouth, baby. Clips finna go to everybody. If y'all want to go ahead to the page it came from, go ahead and talk about it. I'm gonna let y'all have y'all free reign of clicks and views. But as shorts, And shorts, I'm the queen on that one. So it's gonna be shorts all over. Feel free to share. That's all I got to say.
Wowzers. And I just pray that one thing I was so happy about. I love my hometown for sure, but I was so happy to leave here. And when I came back, I dreaded having to come back. Like, I probably, if I didn't have to, I would have never came back, because if that's the mentality to, I mean, it could have been quietly renamed. He could rename it tomorrow. It's gonna be Dalton United Rink. I'll give you a name.
Oh my
But
gosh.
uh for a 5-year old situation, just to be like, that's the first thing. I wonder how her dad feels about that.
He don't care. What he care about? What he
Yeah.
care about that for? He congratulated them, and I thought that this whole thing started
He
because he wanted
did.
custody. I thought he wanted custody. No, no, because see that's the problem with these people. They don't want to talk about what's really, really happening. That man don't want that. He ain't got nothing to say. Simply, because I don't even know what happened to his child support whole. I want joint custody and all that. Clearly, he don't want nothing to do with the baby.
Chad, I gotta send you something. I gotta send you
Ring.
something.
They
Baby, I
change
didn't
it.
even think about, so you all
If they change it, they change it. And he probably gonna be on Facebook talking about some damn congratulations again.
he gonna be
Stop
hosting.
playing with me.
He's gonna be hosting the ribbon cutting of the new ring.
Right, exactly. With his tow truck up there. Yeah.
Oh,
We got the tow trucks and a funeral. Don't come for me early because, I be seeing that, you either have a tow truck commercial or a funeral. So don't come for me. I'm just saying, I seen that you want to joint custody and we ain't heard nothing about no joint custody, my guy.
well,
So I really don't want to hear nothing from you except for I was there with Tiffany too that day. And you know what day I'm talking about? Mugshot day. See, it's time for everybody to come clean. And I don't know what y'all gonna do. Not you, Burgundy. I don't know what the rest of these folks gonna do, especially the ones that was on the Tiffany Henyard hate train. And y'all can see that this thing is more than what y'all tried to do. Come on over. I'ma choose compassion. Just come tell the truth. That's all y'all gotta do. That's what my other short is about. Y'all need to come on. Y'all need to tell it. Y'all need to tell it because 4 years walking around acting like this, y'all yelled at Tiffany, but y'all want to use, y'all can't puff y'all chest out at Jason. What are y'all scared of? I help you, and I can tell you how I can help you. You know why? Because y'all, yeah, the mentality is you can't, ain't nothing we can do now. Ain't nothing we can do. Who, how many slaves said that to Harriet Tubman? If y'all don't stop playing with me, my grandfather moved the whole obelisk from Ethiopia back to its home I mean from Italy back to his home in Ethiopia. Don't tell me what can't be changed. Come on over. I'll choose compassion and we can get the residents right because this ain't about Jason. It ain't about Tiffany. It's about the residents getting what they need. And I think I'm for real done. Sorry.
no, you're good. That is so funny and ridiculous that happened. But like I tell you, that's the mentality that which we should do a live. I wanted to cover the Willie Lynch letters because
Oh,
a lot of these, yeah,
oh, I'm
a lot
sorry.
of
I'm sorry.
no,
I'm muting.
no, you're right. I want to cover that because a lot of that is playing out right here in front of us, even online on social media, beating each other down, uh, trampling over each other, but at the same time, nothing moving forward. And I definitely want to cover that for people who don't know about the Willie Lynch letter. Um,
Hmm.
because that a lot of that we're seeing right now. And I mean, the way everyone's head is turning for everything going on. What happened to the Taste of Thornton this year? We had another party.
Right.
What happened to the back to school giveaway in Dalton? Like,
That
everyone's
is that.
running for 2 and 3 seats now. It's insanity going on when they haven't proven to do good in the first seat that they're at.
Exactly. And then it's stuff like that. You mentioned the taste of Thornton Township, right? So y'all really feel y'all taking that away from Tiffany? No, y'all just took history away from Frank. So you see what I'm saying? Y'all do things that are not very intelligent.
Yeah,
Seriously.
that took away Frank's whole legacy. And again, I want to go back to a little history. Like to change the name of the ice rink, why would that be changed when you didn't change the name of Melanie's Fitness Center?
Exactly. And it's still not sold. And it's still called Melanie Fitness
It's
Center.
still called Melanie Fitness
And
Center.
we still don't know if they sell sandwiches or still or not.
And the odd thing about Melanie Fitness Center, Melanie, who this is a little history lesson, was Mayor Shaw. May he rest in peace. That was his daughter. After he died, you know what they did to Melanie's mom, to Shaw's wife? They
What?
appointed her in a trustee seat. They voted her right into a trustee seat, and it was outrage about that. Um, Even though she wasn't a trustee at the time. I don't know if it was appointed or if it was elected. I think it was someone left and then she was appointed, but I'll have to clarify that. We'll do a video on that. That was history there. So it's a lot of stuff. And I know people always say, I heard someone, they went off on a tangent like, why don't you sit your butt down and stop talking history? Well, if you would have listened to a little history, you would have known that the Cardinal house was right there on 144th, and the Cardinal house, he was up to vote or whatever. I need Gardis here for that, to be the next Pope. Y'all didn't even care that we had a cardinal who went to school here in Dalton, lived in Dalton. Y'all didn't even look into the history of that. Didn't
Yeah,
care.
did not care. And didn't do a simple Google search that the Pope's home is in, well, according to the whole internet, the Pope's childhood home is in Bronzeville.
Well, at Homewood, and it's so funny. He had a house in Homewood too. No one's running trying to steal that house, and it's just insanity. But I appreciate you giving the link. Like I said, I wish everyone's well. Well, they have to have their opinion. So if Jason thought this was a good move, we shall see. We're doing this video to see how it aged. And do I blame Jed for asking that question? I do not. And I'm
Neither do I.
Okay, I'm about to go ahead. I'll let you. I'm about to say I will tell you why, but go ahead, choose. You go first.
Okay, well, here's the thing. I think, and in the realm of this interview, that was a fair question. That was all of the question. Okay, I really believe, I'm going to keep it 100 because you know how I feel. People are humans, whether I like them or not. Um, People are human. And I feel like that was a good interview as far as asking the right questions from the person who it was. Do I feel the answers? I feel the answers just never mind. Who gonna tell them? Who gonna tell them? You know what? They didn't want to tell Tiffany, so I ain't got nothing to say. But I do feel like those were valid questions. I feel like Jedediah Brown should have absolutely asked. So hey, while we on this here live, did I cause chaos or did I not? Jason, that was a yes or no question. That's the problem. Y'all talk too much. Talking too much, moving the lips more than y'all move the body. And I see all these events. I ain't seen no exercise fitness class. That's it.
You know what? You better stop because you know they give their friends anything. So soon as they do one class, a dude gonna own Melanie Fitness Center. So don't even bring that up. Don't even bring that up.
Anything that we can do to get people in shape so that if they happen to yell at the podium, they don't run out of breath. That would be help. That's a health. I guess that's a healthy way to spend taxpayers' money. We don't want people to like run out of breath and just die from trying to yell. That's crazy. Crazy work. We need people to be able to sit down and talk without being out of breath.
What is going on, Choose? Okay, so and so my part is I do not blame him at all. I think that that was a fair question for him to ask, especially being in the midst of all that court stuff. I think that was fair to have this documented that the village of Dalton welcomes you. The mayor is on your side. You're able to run your, what was it called? Was it a campaign for Congress or something? A press conference for you're able to basically run the village of Dalton because of the mayor? I think that was a fair question to ask, and he could use that as reference when he go to Flint or wherever that is.
Mm-hmm. And so can I. I mean, people.
People. Okay, choose. Thank you for these clips because before we leave, because I want to do the superintendent next. What? Another one? It was another one.
Yeah.
I want to ask you a question for myself. Often rumor has it that INA brought chaos and drama to the community. So I guess I want to ask you, sir, in your assessment of things, do you feel that the advocacy that I brought, you didn't call me there, but do you feel like the advocacy that I brought?
What was funny? Was it a laugh like that's a lie? Was he chuckling like, oh, that's a lie?
Okay. I'm gonna tell you. Behavioral analysis mode.
Okay.
That chuckle. That was a. Okay. How can I do this? You're going to see his blink rate get faster because he was blinking at a regular, paced rate. You're going to see his blink rate go fast. And you're going to see him, if you can look, squint his eyes. He's going to squint his eyes. And that means he's trying to block out what he did, something that he know is wrong. So there you go.
Sorry, Choose. I was trying to zoom in. So so the blink rate is gonna go faster. And then what's gonna happen?
There's gonna be a moment where he clenches his eyes shut as if he's trying to block out the lie that he's telling. And then he's going to tell on himself, thinking that he's not.
Okay, let's go. Let's take a look. Behavior analysis. Oh, let me come on out of here. I thought I was doing something. Okay, let's see.
Well, that's a good quote too.
I want to ask you a question for myself. Often rumor has it that INA brought chaos and drama to the community. So I guess I want to ask you, sir, in your assessment of things, do you feel that the advocacy that I brought, you didn't call me there, but do you feel like the advocacy that I brought, inevitably the organization that was created out of it, Investigate and Advocate, did we help in this village's position and condition at all?
Absolutely. Chaos existed before INA came. I think that what was done is the fight, not always pleasant, sometimes force things to be dealt with head on. And in many cases, it's uncomfortable. It's there are many times where I would just say, "Hey, I know you did that. I wouldn't do that. I couldn't go that far. I wouldn't go in that direction." And it makes some uncomfortable. And at times, I will even say it made me uncomfortable. But there's also when you're facing that level of just blatant disrespect for rules and laws, sometimes you got to meet people where they stand. So I understand the advocacy you did. I think what I think was really impressive is that within, I would say, a 2 to 3 week period, you came, you hit the ground running. You knew everybody within the Dalton community within a 2 week period by just being grassroots and meeting everybody. I know every encounter wasn't pleasant, but no, I think the advocacy in particular in our case was very helpful. So that would be my statement.
I would love for Jason to explain what part of the advocacy was helpful. And then did they say anything about that $10,000? Because that would be on like that website for donations, right?
No.
How everyone when you donate.
Didn't mention it.
Okay, because when you donate, you're supposed to campaign funds. It's supposed to go on that campaign site. I forgot the name of it, the government campaign site thing.
That's that Conscious. There you go.
Yeah, Conscious would be able to look for that, I guess. But okay, all right. And you were right about the behavioral. Look at how he looking to the side now. He looked at the ceiling.
Exactly.
He looked.
He's looking, and notice that he's looking down and to the left. He's lying.
Wow.
He's lying.
He
scratches his eye. I saw a couple more things. I did have this on times 2, so it might be kind of hard to see it because I just couldn't handle it in regular mode. So I had to times 2 it. So it might be hard to see. But, there's a point where he scratches his, eyebrow. These are all behaviors that indicate deception. And you can check my credentials with Chase Hughes. Thank you very much.
I love it. And I just want to say to my audience and the people that don't like me that's just listening as well, stop letting people sway you any kind of way. Have your own mind. Stand up for what's right. stand up for what's right, period. Do I let's talk about me, Burgundy Blue. Let me put this the right way. How do I feel about the whole help me situation when I cried on the internet, right? I feel like at that time I was backed into a corner. I didn't know what to do. And at this time, you have to remember, these people offered to meet with me because I was going through so much. People were driving by my house. Now a year later, we see that happening, right? But back then, y'all didn't see because I had to get on here and prove every single molecule. I lost my job.
Right.
All of those things happened to me. I
Right.
lost family. I had a horrible situation going on at the time. They were stalking, harassing me.
Mm-hmm.
We had to get
Mm-hmm.
round the house surveillance going on
Yep.
because of what was going on. We had to pay out of pocket. I lost all my income, y'all. I had to pay $5,000 for a retainer for a lawyer. Have the
Yep.
receipts. Have the receipts. Some of y'all
She
have
has the receipts, baby.
for a lawyer. I had to pay $5,000 for a retainer. Okay. I didn't have that's all my savings. Nothing. So
Everything.
I was I had just off the whim of losing my mother. Before that, I was a caretaker, which is another, I would love to do a caretaker series.
Oh, we
Um,
should do that too.
because people don't know exactly what when you're in that middle, when you're an
Yep.
entrepreneur and everything have to stop to take care of someone, you just don't know how your life is gonna go.
Right.
So
We should do that.
my mom had a series of strokes and but and I'm not saying this for sympathy. My mom died in my arms,
Yeah. So then
and
I hear you. I
yeah,
hear you.
so
Yep.
it's a tragic story, but
It
I
is.
was going through a lot of that stuff, and I just broke out like, y'all, look, I'm watching these people saying they're fighting for victims, and I'm leaving Jed out of that conversation. All these people that say they fight for people, I started to notice. I'm so glad this happened because I started to notice and see that
Mm-hmm.
people that y'all notice, like the Kanika case, the now that's definitely that, but anything to do, even the stuff where it's what was the assault case, all of these situations, it's only if it's tough money involved. Nobody want to help. Now, if I would have just went off and Lord forbid hung myself because I was just under so much pressure, y'all be doing a GoFundMe for my funeral, wearing a t-shirt,
Exactly.
wearing a
That's
turkey.
real talk.
Oh, I love Burgundy Blue.
That's real talk, Berg. No, that Burgundy. No, that's real talk because here I definitely, this is what one of the things that I do in my nonprofit. Like I can tell you the stats. 19% of people that are cyberbullied do that. So this is not a game. This is not a joke.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, but thank God. I always think back to that and I talked to you. I said, man, thank God I wasn't 18 or 19. But at
Mm-hmm.
that time, y'all,
Exactly.
I have no shame in my game. I had no control over my emotions. But
Exactly.
but I'm gonna say this. It made me look at all these people that do be advocating. Like all that stuff was going on with Tiffany, and all of a sudden Tyrone pop up in Harvey. What you doing over there in Harvey?
Mm-hmm.
That ECC and all of that. Tiffany had all that stuff. Y'all signing papers in her office. You supposed to be here in Dalton. What you doing over there in Harvey?
Exactly,
What what
because
you a chance?
and that's the thing, okay, for me, that's the thing, people when people come places for anything, and I'm not even talking like advocates, or I'm talking about anyone. When you come to, I'm just gonna keep it to Jason House and the trustees. What is your need? What is the need? Why are you here? Do you need to be here? Is this a need for something? Because I also noticed that Jason's aspirations are very low. Jed did ask him, did he have any, further future aspirations? And he's like, yeah, no, it's gonna be no, I don't. He basically, nope. and then try to clear it up with, get used to my job. No, you want to stay and live in a pine box because you had no job before this and you lived in an apartment. And let me find out that second house is yours. I'm sorry.
No, I'm gonna say this. I think Jason's gonna be the only one that don't leave in the pine box. Like we always, like I said, that's the when. If you guys don't know what I'm saying, like the mayors and the supervisors here, they don't care about the younger generation. So Jason is very young to be a mayor here in Dalton. He's very young, and Tiffany was super young and the only woman.
Yeah,
Um,
he ain't the youngest. He
he's
ain't the
not the young,
youngest. You can't beat her.
and 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 she was the first one to actually live in Dalton to become a mayor. Like people don't really live here. A lot of our officials do not live here. They do not want to live here. It's just the truth of the matter. They
As
take these big paychecks and they go live somewhere fabulous.
Yep, as well as the only one that we know, and I know me and you know, that we've seen all in the streets before she ever became mayor.
Oh yeah, she was
So,
helping people way
right.
before
So
she
when
became
she was
mayor.
saying, look at her, look at her work, I believe all of that is what she meant, really professionally. Look at her work. Look at them. I ain't seen them out there. I ain't seen him
You're
out
not
there.
gonna,
Where's
you're not gonna.
Where's Mrs. Clayton, another one of our elders in the community? You see what I'm saying? I didn't see y'all when they dedicated the street to Mr. Clayton. What happened to his barbecues? I'm sorry. You see, y'all just this is not right. You get all giddy over a Pope's house, but you got Black history right in your own
Wow,
neighborhood.
that's deep. You right. We do have Black history right here in our neighborhood, and we have kids that need more activities here in our neighborhood as well. When I see things going on that people were mad about, I was like, we didn't have anything. Zuccarelli, just to go to Thornton Township, Zuccarelli wasn't bringing nothing over here. He wasn't going to do it. I don't think I've ever. I don't know. It's a lot of people I never seen, and now they just popping out and they like I run for office. That's why it was such a big deal when people were going from show to show to say they never seen me. Then all of a sudden, everybody knew my whole life story since I was born, and it was like, no, you've never been active in the community. And I just implore you guys, when it's not time for elections, when it's not time for election season, hold these people accountable for what they're doing. Hey, excuse me, we need to talk about this situation, how to make this better. And no politicians are human. They're not perfect. All of that stuff, I get it. No one's going to make it happen overnight. But you have to remember, they were fighting with Tiffany for 4 years too. It wasn't just, oh, Tiffany was bad for 4 years. No, they stopped a lot of progress for a lot of years as well, just to get back in office. And if you look at all of your favorites, all of them got six-figure jobs, y'all. Don't keep your eyes closed to what the fight was really possibly about. All of them making money. Okay, I'm gonna go to the district and we'll see where this land. Y'all just stop. Don't be sheep. Don't let people just. You don't have to be a part of a clique. You can have your own mind. You can have your own movement, your own ideas on how you want things for your community. You don't have to be falling to prey because of YouTube pressure. They can make video after video after video of making fun of people, but no one will help the people.
Hey, I'ma help. If you finish this clip and play the other little short clip, it's what I want them to do. And I'm definitely talking to you, Dan. I'm talking to you, Paul, Vivian. I don't remember the names of the trustees, but I mean not trustees, podium people, but let's get to work. Y'all ain't got to be scared.
Yeah, don't be scared. I don't think that you have to be scared. Out of all the people, I take the most risk because every time you do say anything about the village, it's intimidation.
Exactly.
It's automatic intimidation, and they chuckle and smile, and y'all are cheering them on from the outlines. But I'm only one person. Skip Burgundy. Imagine with the other people who are forced to be silenced. You think Tiffany,
Hmm.
one person, was? silencing a community of 20,000 people, and then she have 60 houses. What happened to those 60 houses she had? And you guys never asked for answers or follow-up questions to all of the things they told us that was happening in the village. And that's really, really, really sad.
Exactly. It
And if
really
you into
is.
politics, just say this. This is I told y'all this is Boardwalk Empire. If you haven't watched Boardwalk Empire, it's on HBO. Watch it. It's about gangsters in politics in the 1920s. And I'm telling you, Dr. Narcisse is here in Dalton. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Oh
Charlton
yeah.
Wright is here in Dalton. Nucky Thompson is here in Dalton. Watch Boardwalk Empire. Y'all gonna crack up when you start to see what happened. All the deals that are made in the back room for a game.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Choose. You got any final words?
I wish that everyone would stop talking about move forward, healing, and whatever the rhetoric is, and understand that there can be no healing without accountability, without conversation, without recognizing that you may have hurt someone as well. And stop, it's never water under the bridge. That
Um,
is a lie. Water flows, and it doesn't go anywhere, it just flows. So the energy is still there. It seems that the mayor and the trustees don't want to address the hurt on both sides after 4 years talking about them, because every time they say Tiffany speaks disrespectfully, I've never seen that in the community. She spoke disrespectfully to you. So I think that they should definitely think about the people that they've hurt, understand that restoration is needed. Oh, and the people, the podium people, if y'all scared, watch my other clip and let's tell it.
which is it? The first one? Let's go. Let's go slide through. Let's see if I can do it this way.
What's the next one? Yes, it's perfect.
Is it this one?
Is this what I want y'all to do? You see Dan name right there? Dan Paul. Hey, call to action.
Okay, let's go. This is the call to action. Quiet Souls finally had enough of people not saying anything when they see folks lying to everybody in the room. Yeah, because they don't say nothing. They
Mm-hmm.
be itching to say it.
Mm-hmm.
Itching to say it like that famous video where and everybody ignored it when Ryan from Ryan's Gay Chicago asked Mary
Right.
and Mary and Paul, Mary and Ryan was sitting there. She was like, no, no, no. We did this ordinance because we're not gonna do this. And she was standing on business.
Exactly. And then the backtrack and be like, well, we're new trustees. No, you ain't know what you was doing when you was trying to take them spots. Stop playing, Mary. And yeah. We're gonna find a nice balance between the Floyd family, and we gonna discuss you, because you shouldn't be no trustee. Talk about what you was talking about. And let me be quiet, because I've had my call to action. Hey residents, there's nothing to be afraid of. I don't know what they told y'all about Napoleon. It's a lie. It's a lie. So let's
Well,
go.
I'm actually listening to Napoleon and wishing he was just a senator instead of the trust the I'm sorry, the supervisor, because the goal is to get him up out of there. And I go back to that, like if you guys were really paying attention, going back to that whole hearing, we called it the YSL hearing. when they had a hearing on his residence and they had the witnesses up there, the water lady, the meter maid, and everybody else saying that he didn't live where he said he lived.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, everybody, the next when after the trial, that
Right.
was the YSL trial. After the trial, all of
Right.
a sudden everybody shut up real quick. So you know what that meant? They're like, "Oh no, we cool." And then
Right, exactly.
I think they're going to use that against him. I think they're going to try to find a way to use any information they knew
Oh.
against him.
Oh, well, guess what? Let me say, Stephanie, I hear you running for his old position.
Oh, he's
Hey,
still in that
Stephanie.
position. That's still his position.
Hey, yo, Stephanie. Next time it's solid gold, not solid silver. Sorry. Had to say that. I just can't get past you came to that in solid gold and solid silver dancewear. Other than that, Stephanie Weiderman, running for Democratic committee person. Of course you want Napoleon out now because you thought stuff was going to go your way. And they were going to do something for you. And you, like everybody else, FAFO'd. So, why don't you ask him for an apology? He's not going to do that. But here's one better. If y'all want him out of office, give him a paragraph to read right on the spot. If he
Okay,
can read it, keep him. If
I'm
he
gonna
can't read it, he out of there.
let you go. Tuesday, her afternoon coffee.
Oh yeah, my coffee was late too, and so
I was sitting over here typing like, what? But let
and
me
it
tell
was a full calf. Wasn't even a half calf
you, you
today.
have
But hey, this is the opinion of choose compassion
oh, you
and the other person that y'all doxed. So hello. And yeah, we don't show up when we show up in the township and we don't show up disrespectfully. And Berg knows that. But yeah, just ask
no,
Napoleon to
yeah.
read some verbatim.
I think it's kind of weird because it's really strange. I would love to know what happened. Now, to me, this is me and my tinfoil hat. I remember interviewing Stephanie at that rally. No, she was real soft. I'm so shy. I don't want to be in office. I just want what's right for Frank, and I just want this. And I'm like, okay. And Tiffany fired me. Okay. And then, but this is what I never got. This is what I never understood. I've never seen, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong. I've never seen a new administration. So, like Lori Lightfoot. So, did Brandon Johnson keep Lori Lightfoot chief of staff, or did Harold Washington? Is Harold Washington chief of staff still there? Like, I'm like, I've always seen the people bring their own people in.
Exactly.
Like, I've never
Exactly.
seen where it's just like, oh, you going because you've been here 30 years with the last person, you gonna stay 30 years with me. I've never seen that. I don't
Well,
understand why everybody was like shook. You that's the part of working for a municipality or a city.
Well, exactly. And, for Stephanie Weiderman, I noticed, and this is really a respectful and very serious comment. I do notice that, she says things that clearly she must not mean because, I just recently, I don't know, came across a news clip where she was on the news and she's like, if Tiffany would have just said, I'm not sure what's happening and apologized, that would have been that. No, clearly that wouldn't have been that. You lie. You're a liar.
Mm,
Bye. And I was born in July, and you already know how we are about liars. I don't like liars. You lie. You lie. Just
it's
like you lie about them, you getting arrested, and Trina showed it. You lie. You lie, Stephanie. You lie.
this is just crazy. Okay, I'm gonna move on to the like 10-20 minutes of this news story. We'll pick it up tomorrow. Choose, thank you for always your insight, and you're the queen of TikTok. We appreciate you so much. We can get ready for we did this live, so we can get ready for our debut tomorrow because all the people are gonna be like, and let me tell you about Burgundy.
Because we don't matter.
No, they're gonna be all in the arms, and you know what? That just helps me more. That gets the algorithm up. All right, girl. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you for having me as
Thanks for
usual.
being on.
Love and light to everyone. See ya.
See you. Make sure y'all subscribe to Choose Compassion. Wonderful content over there. Now, really quickly, because I probably have to do a part 2 because it's real late, and I know a lot of people are probably not up. I want to talk about this. So, y'all, I Regina, did a video, NBC Chicago, 5,000 views. That is very low for Regina talking about Dalton, but she's not talking about Tiffany. So it's Dalton's $500,000 superintendent gone after investigation. So she saw nothing else that went on in the township. Not the bill, that the 200-some-thousand bill that for Crohn's disease that carried a salary under it. Not what's going on in Harvey with Clark. She saw nothing else but this superintendent. I got it, but let's go.
Is there any connection to what's going on the board to Tiffany Henyard?
Because it's the taxpayers who.
Now this is the thing. This is what kills me about this. What Tiffany has nothing to do with this man's salary. She probably was in an elementary school when he was making the salary. What are you talking about?
That is a big red flag.
Did they know about this stuff?
They are now on a watch list.
Is there any connection to what's going on the board to Tiffany Henyard?
Because it's the taxpayers who they are on the hook for this.
Yeah. Dalton has been through a lot lately. Their now ex-mayor, Tiffany Henyard, is under federal investigation, and she's been sued dozens of times. Now we have found out that the school superintendent in that south suburb makes more than $500,000 every year. Just so you know, that's more than the mayor of the city of Chicago. That's more money than the president of the United States makes. Now, all of that was
This is my question. Like I said, we'll pick it up tomorrow because I'm a little late. How long was he making dang on near $500,000 a year? And I wanted to bring that up because I have an update for you guys. Chicago Tribune just posted an article. It says Dalton 148 contract for interim superintendent at $1,500 a day. So less than 2 weeks after Superintendent Kevin Nolte announced his abrupt retirement, the Dalton West Elementary School District approved a contract for his interim replacement. Sheila Harrison Williams will be paid $1,500 a day for up to 120 days. Can y'all tell me how can somebody do the math? Can somebody do the math? $1,500 a day times 120 days, or just give me the weekly. What she get paid every 1st and 15th? Give me something. $1,500 a day. Isn't that crazy? Oh, hey, Paul. Hey, everybody I missed. I'm sorry. I was just in the conversation. Regina did a good job of publicizing another Dalton scandal. Did she know that the temporary replacement of the resigned superintendent earns $1,500 a day? I don't know. So wait a minute. $547,000 a year. Is that right? Is that right? But this is the thing, Gardis. She's only working part-time. It says $1,500 per day. So that's even worse, right? So she's only working half a day for $1,500. Teach me the game. Teach me the game. I want to be in. Tomorrow, everybody, meeting at Panera's. We all gonna learn how to be politicians, and we need to get a degree within 6 days. Okay, within 120 days to be superintendent. Within 6 days to work for Dalton. Okay, we need to figure it out. $1,500 a day. We got to go through that article. Call to action. Take back your township. The school board limit is 120 days. So 120 days times $1,500 a day. Hold on. I don't got Google. Hold on. So she'll make $180,000 in 120 days. In 4 months. That ain't right. Scott, that's not right. I'm counting on my fingers. That's not right. In she's gonna make in 120 days. She's not even making 120,000. She's making 180,000. I gotta look up her credentials. I'm not I'm not judging because I didn't. They must be educated. 180,000 for one of the worst districts out. Not yeah, they're bad. All right, let's watch a couple of more clips. This is crazy. This is what's going on under your nose, and if you don't pay attention, this happens. So, like I said, Dr. Noti, right? How long was he around making what kind of money for how long? And now Tiffany blew the box. Tiffany blew the lid off of everybody, I think.
Till NBC5 Investigates did a little bit of digging into his past, and he suddenly resigned. Regina Waldrop is our South Suburban expert back here with us on The Takeaway. Regina, you were the one who did this investigation. Welcome back. Nice to have you here.
Nice to be here, Alex. I want to correct you, right, because his attorney told us he didn't resign. He retired the day after our story aired. So his attorney did call us and correct us. So we want to make sure we're correct. He retired.
He retired.
He retired.
Okay.
But who is he?
Yeah.
So he's been the superintendent for District 148, which covers 10 schools in Dalton and Riverdale. He's been there since 2016. And as you said, he made more than $500,000. And while he was constantly getting that bump in pay, making that amount of money in, cash and also other things, the school's financial profile was declining. They are now on a watch list, the only school district in Cook County on this Illinois Board of Education watch list.
People may not know what school superintendents really do every day. It's kind of a narrow window into our education system. They're very powerful. Many of them make a lot of money because they have a lot of decisions to make. And as you found out, what were some of the problems financially that the Dalton district was going through with Kevin Nolte at the helm?
Well, the assistant superintendent, she, filed a lawsuit, a whistleblower lawsuit, claiming that there was some financial mismanagement, and that is still working its way through the court system. But we're talking about a school district that is in an area I won't say is impoverished, but people there make about $50,000 a year. There is no huge, financial base for this community. But then you have this district that is financial problems and is now on a state watch list for financial issues. That is a big red flag.
Yeah. I would have to think the number one job of the superintendent is to make sure the district is in good financial health.
Right.
And Dalton's is certainly not, and kept getting worse, it sounds like.
During his tenure, absolutely.
Yeah, during his tenure. So now it's on this watch list by the state, which cites that it's in poor health. That's bad for the students, the teachers, everybody involved in the district. And you did a lot of digging, not just into the job that Kevin Nolte had, but even into some things outside of his job and his past. What did you find out about his jobs before he came to Dalton?
And of course, I don't want to say I did all the digging. Of course, we have a great investigative team, but he also worked in a district in Lincolnwood. There were some issues there. He worked in Harvey. So it seems to be like he was going from district to district. But keep in mind, it is hard to find a good superintendent. It seems that is a challenging job. You want to make sure you find the right person. But aside from that, there's some issues. If you're managing the finances for a large school district, I guess you would want to say that your personal finances would also be managed, in a good way, but that's not what we found. We found credit card bills and other bills totaling up to $52,000. We found a foreclosure. And then in 2024, he was arrested for DUI. It was a misdemeanor and he pled no contest. But to me, those are issues that speak to who this person is in managing a school district.
I want to talk about how he came to the Dalton district in the first place before we found out that the finances were deteriorating. What were his previous jobs and how well or poorly did he seem to do in those jobs?
So he had a similar job in a school district in Lincolnwood, a similar job in Harvey. There were some issues in both of those positions. So in school district in Lincolnwood, where he worked in a similar position, there was some failure to account for $1 million plus in funds. And so he ended up suing the district, but it ended up getting thrown out of court. Now, whatever happened to those funds, unclear. Then in Harvey, there was some alleged mismanagement of several $1 million in funds. He was suspended without pay for a time, but then brought back. And then after that, he makes his way to Dalton.
And so being a school superintendent is not an elected position.
It is not.
There is a school.
It can be in some cases, but not in this situation.
Not in this situation. So there's a school board in Dalton. Did they know about this stuff? Did they ask?
That's a good question. So we constantly try to reach out to everybody on the school board just to get somebody to talk to us.
Yeah.
Someone to share any information they had. No one would get back to us. But keep in mind, it is the school board that makes these decisions. They set out the agenda on who they want to hire. They set up the qualifications. They decide what they're looking for in the candidates. They conduct the interviews, and then they decide who is the person, who is the right fit for this job. And the school board, for some reason, thought Mr. Nolte was the right person for this position. But, if you go to some of these school board meetings, parents were speaking out. They were upset to know that in this district, this man was making more than the president.
So you showed some of the video in your story on TV. Parents are fired up.
Yeah,
some of the
as
parents,
they should be. As they should be.
They were not happy.
They, on general, they make a tenth of what this superintendent is making.
Yeah,
and I think they have every right to speak up. And I hope going forward, I hope it's they have more of a say in who is hired to run their school district.
Yeah. How'd you get started on the story? How did you think to look into this? Because the fact that Kevin Nolte or any other state or superintendent in the state makes that amount of money, that's public record.
Sure, it's public record.
But how did you find out some of these problems and the deteriorating health of the school district? How'd you start digging in?
Well, again, I give all credit to our investigative producer, Katie Smizer. She started looking at some numbers, started really digging a few weeks ago. I have someone close to me who works in the district as well. And so it was something I was looking into on my own too. And then she came to me and we put it together, and, this was the result of it. And the day after our story aired, Mr. Nolte retired.
What was your reaction to hearing that? You did all this work, you compiled all this reporting, and then bam, he retires.
We were surprised. We were really surprised.
Yeah.
But I want to tell you what his attorney told us.
I was going to ask about that.
His attorney told
us, if he were sitting here, what would he say?
His attorney told us that Mr. Nolte decided to retire because he left the district in a good position and everything off to a good start. I don't know. I mean, the school district is on the state watch list for financial problems.
Did he provide evidence for what he says is a good?
He did not.
Okay.
But he also says that, that he was subject to accusations and different things by the board. That's what Mr. Nolte said in a letter, submitted to us by his attorney.
Did he go into detail about all that?
I guess some issues. Mr. Nolte is white and the board is African American, and he hinted that there may have been some issues regarding that.
Okay.
So we're still looking into that, but that's something that he brought up in his letter.
Okay, so he retired, so he's now not the superintendent anymore.
There's an interim superintendent, somebody on the board,
I
think is going to fill that position temporarily until the search goes on for another superintendent to fill this position.
So we mentioned Dalton, as you know, probably better than anyone, has been through a lot because of your reporting on Mayor Henyard and the township and everything that's been going on there. Is there any connection to what's going on the board to Tiffany Henyard? Or
two separate entities, no connection whatsoever.
Totally a coincidence.
Totally coincidence
that it happened in Dalton.
Keep in mind, though, I think this is not Dalton is.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna bring up a special guest and see if they're ready. So bringing up a special guest, you guys. Hey, Gardis.
Hey, Berg, what's going on?
What's going on? Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday.
So we're on here talking about the school district, and it's just a lot going on. And I just noticed how people are really not taking an interest as much as they did with Tiffany.
Well, I think people are taking an interest because of the sensationalism of this particular story. Because as you know, and as people in your audience knows, I worked at District 148 as the information system specialist. I saw a lot of things. Things that I won't say because legally I'm not supposed to, because of certain lawsuits that are hanging over the district's head, but trust me when I say my information is very verifiable. As most people know, when you work in IT, especially if you are the you're in information technology, and you're the network administrator, and you also work with the administration to mine information, because one of my jobs too was to help them with FOIA requests, especially on electronic information. So there was some things that was going on that I will say Dr. Nolte was not the only one that caused this collapse of the financial problems of District 148, and this is not anything new when you think about it. So, as you know, I started working there in 2015, worked all the way up there till about 2018. Then I went to the township, worked there for a year, a little bit over a year, and then I went back to the district in 2019. All the way up until a couple of months ago, where I resigned. So when 2017 came around, the district was under a interim superintendent back then. When I got into the district in 2015, there was a lady, Dr. Jane Purcell, who was actually ousted through the board that was there at that time. And they brought in Dr. Sandra Mickles, who was actually superintendent, some years ago, and she had retired. So they called her back to work. And this is why I say, like, when they have interim superintendents, I think by law, they're only required to work part-time, I guess. So that's why I said, I think this new superintendent is only working part-time. I may be wrong, but that's what I understood when Dr. Mickles came in. And then Dr. Mickles was only supposed to be there for 6 months. She ended up staying there for almost 2 years. And this is when Dr. Nolte came in, and this is something that I just, media reporting is just so, I think you already know what I'm thinking about, but media reporting is so biased. They don't give all the information, and they slant it to a point where they want to make this story so sensationalized that, you remember you asked that question about what does this have to do with Tiffany? It has nothing to do with Tiffany outside of the fact that part of District 148 is in Dalton. And that's the only similarities that they have in it. But she also fails to talk about, Dr. Nolte coming into the district as the business manager. He didn't come in as the supervisor. He came in as the business manager. Now, like I said, Dr. Mickles, who was the interim superintendent at the time, was in there for nearly 2 years. So the board had to make a decision. They were looking to see if Dr. Nolte would step up and be the superintendent, but also be the business manager. So what happened during that time was they gave him the superintendent's job, but they also made him keep his business manager's position, which basically both holds 6-figure salaries, which is why he makes what he makes. Now, I was, as one of the technology people, I was there because with the district, they always use technology, with smart boards and stuff like that, so the audience can keep up with the agenda. And then, when COVID happened, there was doing a lot of remote recording with meetings. And so technology became a necessity with the board meetings. But I remember I was at that board meeting when Dr. Nolte was appointed the superintendent, but also the business manager. And I thought back then that was a conflict of interest, because, you're not only the person who's the superintendent, but you basically kind of You basically now control the money. And I remember back in 2017, I was telling folks, y'all need to come to these meetings. They're making decisions here that is viable to, you know, this district. And nobody didn't want to listen to me. I will say the one person that I consistently see at school board meetings is Miss Felita Creighton. And, you know, she's always in the community. But the thing is that I asked people back in 2017 to start coming to meetings because I thought that was a bad decision. But nobody wanted to listen. Nobody wanted to listen. So all of this comes down to, you know, the financial watch. Well, let me rewind back, because District 148 School Board has had moments of disarray. The deputy superintendent that Regina is referring to is Dr. Sonia Whitaker, who was hired in the district in 2019. Now, mind you, she has had some issues being at the district. She was actually suspended in 2022 by the board and being investigated for some financial stuff that was going on. So she didn't talk about that one. But if you want to look at the minutes on District 148's website, it's there. They have minutes all the way going back to 2017 or 2018, because before that they weren't using board docs. So any meeting notes that you want before 2018, you'll have to FOIA it. But all the meetings from 2018 are on the website. You can find the minutes there. But Dr. Whitaker was suspended for some financial improprieties in 2022. And also, too, some bullying that was going on, because I will say this from personal experience. She was not a good person to work with. She was a bully. She tried to bully me, and that didn't work too well. Wow. And there was many people that couldn't work with her very well. But the thing was,
I'm sorry, Curtis, that's the one that we reviewed. She was standing next to Jesse. I mean, Jesse Jackson came to her, Operation Push came or whatever to her aid, or with Jesse Jackson.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's connected with the NAACP.
NAACP. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, she's connected with the NAACP. But yes, she has a very hard personality to work with. And many people in the district will vouch for that. But you know, the thing too is that this story talks about that. But you know, the board brings in Dr. Sonia Whitaker, who also worked for District 152 and had a unceremonious exit from that district. So she doesn't talk about that. But like I said, the board is so much in disarray. Like, take for example, I was at a board meeting, and this was back in, I think it was in 2021. There was one particular board member who was about to charge another board member. I mean, like physically charge another board member because he vehemently disagreed with her on something, and he got so mad that he got up and was about to, I don't know what he was going to do. But me and the board attorney, Miller, we had to stop him. Like, no, you can't do that. And they had to suspend him for a couple of days or a couple of months because, yeah, he was threatening physical violence against another board member. And unfortunately, you know, not only did he get voted out of his position, but he literally the district has an order of protection against him because he came to the district one day threatening the lives of people in the administration, like Dr. Nolte and his administrative assistant.
Well, and we're talking about a school district, right? We're
Talking
still on
about a school district. Yes, he was banned from the school district because he has an order of protection against him.
Wow.
Because he literally threatened the lives of Dr. Nolte and his administrative assistant. Now, and this is how disarrayed the board was. Now, going to this financial watch. So, and this is something that a lot of people who don't know would automatically say, well, because I remember there was a news report, and I believe Dr. Whitaker kind of like put this out that last year Dr. Nolte stole $13 million of federal funds, and pocketed it and went to Vegas and whatever the case that they was doing. So what technically or really happened, because like I said, I'm there, I'm listening to the meetings. The ESSER funds. These are the COVID relief funds that were given to different government school districts for COVID relief. The district was earmarked for several millions of dollars of COVID relief funds, and they came in like 3 phases. And I think the last phase is phase 3, which actually ended it ended last year. However, what happened was there was an audit that was done by our good friends, the Kasperic Group, and they found that the district was in a $4 million deficit. Dr. Randall, who is currently the board president, she was just a regular board member, had understood that the district was in a $7 million deficit. And this is because the ESSER funds didn't come in. The district was scheduled to get like $14 million worth of ESSER funds. Now, if anybody knows how ESSER funds work, it's a reimbursement program. So the money has to be spent first before the district can get that money back, because they have to file for reimbursement of the ESSER funds. So this is not government money that they just give you. You have to spend it, and then you get reimbursed. But what they did was when they created the budget, they tried to include these projected ESSER funds, which didn't come in. And apparently with President Trump coming in, I'm not sure if those last phase of government funds are coming in. So now the district is in a bind because they're not getting reimbursed. They're not getting reimbursed for those funds anymore. COVID relief money is gone now. And so with that being said, a lot of money was spent over the last 4 years, and it was not, like I said, Dr. Nolte had a partner in crime, and it was Dr. Whitaker, because obviously last year they fired her, and now she has a lawsuit against the district. But I will tell you, the firing was legitimate. From the information that I saw, the firing was legitimate.
Wow. And it's crazy that all of this, that's so between the two, let's say the superintendent, the assistant superintendent, and the business manager, what kind of salary is being raked in between the 3, possibly?
You could look on the
I can look, because that's public information.
Yeah, so that's public information. So Dr. Whitaker was making about $260,000, more than a lot of superintendents when you're talking about that type of salary. And obviously we all know, it's been in the news, Dr. Nolte making close to $450,000 a year. That's probably one of the highest paid employees in the state of Illinois. But it's when you think about that, and you think about like I said, him having the title of the business manager and the superintendent, it's a conflict of interest.
Yes.
Now, what I will say is, if I was to fault Dr. Nolte on anything, it was him watching Dr. Whitaker kind of do what she did for several years, and then by the time he acted on it, it was too late at that point.
That's usually how it goes. I have a question regarding so I was listening to Regina's interview, and I hope the new superintendent is able to do something good in those 120 days. But Regina said that he didn't quit, he didn't resign, he retired.
and she's right. He retired.
So, he retired. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you can retire that fast. That's cool.
No, yeah, you can.
What does a superintendent do, Gardis, for those that don't know?
Well, superintendent is basically the person that oversees the entire district of a school district. So he basically makes a lot of personnel decisions. People who work under him are people who are the directors of curriculum, the business manager, the HR person, the director of technology, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So the people who are in charge of the everyday operations of the schools, of the school district, report to him. Technically, the principals either report to him or they report to the deputy superintendent, which is the structure in 148. But if there is an assistant superintendent, now there is a difference, because assistant superintendents tend to rank lower than, like, say, a deputy superintendent. Because a deputy superintendent is somebody who actually has some say, even when the superintendent is there. Assistant superintendents are only there as a placeholder. Now they have duties within the district, like they're in charge of curriculum and stuff like that, but they're just basically there as placeholders when the superintendent is absent, or he's suspended or whatever. Then they take the place of the superintendent. But superintendent basically oversees the day-to-day operations of a school district. Now, the superintendent's bosses are the school board. So the school board are the only people that can hire a superintendent. And that's the only people that the superintendent reports to, the school board. So when you think about a school board, the only employee that a school board has is the superintendent. The school board has no say in, who's going to be the director of technology, who's going to run curriculum, who's going to be the principal at this school or that school. Now they will vote on, they will vote on certain positions. But at the same time, it's only for financial reasons. But other than that, they're not supposed to be like saying, hey, you know what? I got this guy. Can you move him into, such and such position? Let's say that, let's not say that it doesn't happen, because it does happen, but that's unethical. You're not supposed to do that. But at the same time, the school board does vote on certain employment statuses, just like I said, just as fiduciary reasons, because they are in charge of the purse of the district, the finances of the district. So they still have to do their due diligence. But other than that, it's like they're not supposed to be pushing in or pushing people away from employment. That is up to the superintendent, who makes the final decision on who gets hired and who gets fired.
Okay. And I want to do a part 2 to this as well. And thank you, Gardis. I have a question. I remember you always telling us, come to a meeting, do things like come to the Thornton meeting, come Thornton Township meeting, come to the school board meeting. Why is it important for people to attend these meetings?
Because you get to see who is running. First of all, you get to see who's running these these meetings, because it's people that you probably would say, oh, they're running, this particular governmental entity. I kept telling you, like, Ernesto Mickens has been on the school board several times. Matter of fact, he was the school board president at one time.
Poor Mr. Mickens.
Huh?
I said, poor Mr. Mickens. He tried so hard to be mayor.
Yeah, exactly. He's been trying to run for Mayor Dalton for like I don't know how many years, but yeah. So he's been on the school. He's been on the school board several times. One of the financial problems that's been happening with 148, also too, outside of what I've just said, is their relationship with the Thornton Township trustee, the trustees. The Thornton Township Treasurer's Office. The Thornton Township Treasurer Office. Now, this is somewhat separate of, say, Thornton Township, because the Thornton Township Treasurer's Office only deals with the schools, and they're somewhat of a semi-autonomous entity that deals with certain schools. They don't deal with all the schools in our area. Matter of fact, school boards can actually decline to use them as, say, for their financial operations. So they take care of payroll, they take care of the audits, and stuff like that. So but it's mainly payroll. So when you think about what's been happening with the Thornton Township Treasurer's Office, they've been having a lot of issues. They've been having issues. There have been school boards that have elected to have them not take care of their payroll. If I'm not mistaken, I think 205 or 152 have declined the services of the Thornton Township Treasurer's Office.
I agree. I think it was South Holland. Was it South Holland?
South Holland, I think South Holland decided to use them for one more year.
Okay.
But here's the thing. So the Thornton Township Treasurer's Office has two board members. So who's one of the board members? A person in Dalton.
What? Okay.
The infamous Andrew Holmes is on the Thornton Township Treasurer's Office board.
Wow. That's why Paul says, which public meetings are the most important ones for the public to attend and make comment?
Well, I mean, you can make comment in any of the public meetings. Maybe outside of Harvey, I think Harvey is getting better as far as public comments. I think what's his name is trying to was trying to rein in public comments. Thornton Township with the, we can only talk 30 minutes, but
you only got 10 people.
Yeah, you can only have 10 people talking, but no, you can make comment in any public meeting. I mean, if they're under the if they're under OMA, then yeah, there has to be a public comment section. Even if it's a special meeting, you can make public comments.
I think he was saying which ones would you suggest are the important ones. I suggest all of them. I notice no one goes to the park district meetings or the library board over here.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it all depends, because I think we probably need to pay attention more to these school board meetings, because obviously you know, with the Illinois report cards that's been happening, a lot of these school districts have been, you know, underperforming as far as academically. And you know, 148 is no different. However, Dr. Whitaker, who was brought in 2019, was tasked to raise the scores of, you know, of our students in the district, and nobody talks about that. And she has been an absolute failure in that, because the bar hasn't moved an inch in regards to raising the test scores. So if we're to blame Dr. Nolte, I think we should blame her for that as well. And it's just too many things that, like I said, stuff that I can't say on the air, but obviously with the stuff that, you know, that caused her exit out of the district, probably is the reason why test scores aren't up at the district.
Yeah. Oh man, this is crazy. Like, wait a minute, because I'm not gonna hold you because of the part 2. You know, I could be long-winded. 48% chronic absenteeism for District 148. What does that mean?
That basically means that, you know, 48% of the children are regularly absent. And when you're regularly absent, we're talking about more than half a week, which means you're not in school 3 of the 5 days that, you know, 3 of the 5 days of the week that you're not in school. So
well, I'll tell you what, I hope that the teachers are getting a piece of some kind of pie if the classrooms are overcrowded. I've seen a lot of schools like that. I don't know if that's this case, but
oh yeah, it very much is, because here's the thing. There's a teacher shortage. And it's a teacher shortage everywhere. Private school, public school, there's a teacher shortage. The last I saw, District 148 has roughly about 42 open teaching positions.
Wow.
Yes.
Well,
they have roughly 40 teaching positions open. And this has been the norm for the last I will probably say maybe the last 40 years. They've always had more than 30 teaching positions open every single year. They had to combine classes. And this is crazy because up until about last year, the student population was actually declining. There was a decline in student population. When I started in the district, there was well over 3,000 students in the district. When I left last month, I think they said they were projected to have maybe 220 students, 2,200 students.
Wow.
Yeah, but that was an increase in the student enrollment, because, you know, now you have a lot of the immigrant kids coming into certain schools. The enrollment is starting to, you know, tick back up again, but not by that much, not by the numbers that you basically that I saw when I first started in the district. Because yeah, it was well over 3,000 children in the district when I first started in 2015. But yeah.
Wow. Well, Dr. Nolte, according, I was listening to Chu's comment. She was like, so he can get his pension. Dr. Nolte was making those 2 positions for quite a while, and I just wonder what the uproar was about just now. This is interesting.
Exactly. He's been making that money for the last 7 years.
The last 7 years he was making that. So he got off with a few cool meal, and the test scores didn't get better. So I'm going to do a part 2 tomorrow, because I do want to look into it and see what's going on there, because I know a lot of people just take their children to school and they're not thinking about the whole operation before that. It's usually like the first line of defense. I'm going to the teachers, maybe the counselor, and that's it. I'm not going anywhere else to ask questions. So I appreciate you, Gardis, for just giving us a little peek in, and I appreciate you so much.
All right. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
All righty.
As always, we had Gardis Watts give us some knowledge, and it was some juiciness up in there. Like, I mean, to know like 7 years about that's pretty interesting. Like, I was reading about Dr. Nolte, and I was like, well, how long he's been the superintendent? I looked and saw he hopped and hopped and hopped. And I think that a lot of things I always wonder is, do their children go to this district? Would they put their kids in this school? Would you live here? Does he live in Riverdale? Does he live in Dalton? I always think about that when I see people making all that cool cash in this community. And that goes for everyone, whether you're a politician or whatever. Would you live here? Would you send your kids to school? Would you let your kid go walk to the Walgreens on a Sunday afternoon? You know, things like that. Would you let your kid go to the park with the pit bulls out? I want to know, you know, and I appreciate y'all so much for stopping by. You know, we don't talk about Dalton that often, but I just wanted to point out a few things that's going on. And with the Jason House interview, I just wanted to point out a few things that's going on, because I think it's important that we're speaking up, speaking out, and telling another side of the narrative, which they do not like, that they have a narrative out there, and we're just saying, no, this is what our eyeballs see, and this is what research has shown. So yeah, y'all mad Dr. Nolte just now making $50,000 when he been doing that for 100 years. You know what? All right, y'all. I'm going on over to check out Shay. I see that Shay from Late Night Crew is live. So as always, we're keeping him in our prayers. We're hoping he's a full success this September the 3rd. And yeah, blessings unto you guys over there. And you can find me over there in the chat. I'm about to get to work. And sorry I've been long-winded.
Can I be recognized, Mayor?
You want to be long-winded? I'm just acting.
Mistake.
And Jason House.
More, you prayed us in on unity. You prayed us in, and it came with the most divisive speech I heard in my life. Don't pray for me no more.
Commentary blue, commentary, burgundy, commentary, comment blue, commentary, comment burgundy blue, commentary blue, commentary.